Now this is week 3 in how to create your character, and a quick update on where we are in our process. This is the third component of why bother. In week 1 we looked at you being a unique person, which then in week 2 allows you to create unique partnerships that then you give all those partnerships direction towards what we're talking about now in a unique purpose. And then in the next 9 weeks we'll be looking at how to create your character, your story, and your lesson, and then wrapping it up with a little bit of what this is all for. So as we come to purpose, purpose is something that gets you out of bed in the morning. It's something you want to do and engage with the world around you. So it's really about how to have fun, real fun. And when we're young as children, we play with toys, which isn't really purposeful, but it's preparing. We're preparing to have the real fun. And you always listen to children, they're always talking about, I can't wait to grow up so that I can have the real fun, which is purposeful. And the toys are nice, but I want to do the real thing, the big thing, the purposeful thing. But the problem is, this is what ends up happening. If you can't find that purpose, you have all these skills and abilities that you develop playing with toys, you learned all the ways the world works, and now you don't know what to do. You can do everything. And you end up running down the road of life, and you keep seeing the sign, like your purpose is just ahead. Keep going. Run a little faster, a little harder, but you'll never find it. Because purpose is not something that exists out there in the world. It's something you must create. So how to have fun is learning how to create your own purpose. And even when a child plays with toys, that's what they're doing. They're creating a purpose with these little blocks, with these little dolls, and they're having fun creating the purpose. So if you want to do that on a larger scale, there's a very simple process to follow. First, you must create a purpose for God. Now, this is very interesting because God has his own purpose, but here's what we know about God's purpose. There's no missing slide here. We don't know what his purpose is. He's too big. He's infinite. So every person is responsible to create a purpose for God. This is how you learn how to create a purpose for yourself. You have to start with God because he existed before anything. So if you notice, everybody has their own idea. God is love, or God's mean, or God's this, or God. They've made a purpose for God, and that's what they're supposed to do. But you're only supposed to do that if you actually have a relationship with him. You need to learn about him personally, intimately, not from a book, not from other people. Walk with him as a spiritual being, and then create a purpose for why he exists. Take what you learn from him and make it into something. That's what you're supposed to do as a free-willed creator. Then you can start making a purpose for creation. Remember, God existed first, and then what did he do before he brought human beings into the world? Well, he made creation. So you got to look at what's out there. The universe, the earth, and nature. What's it all up to? It's doing all this stuff. There's leaves, and there's snow, and there's water, and there's something going. It's scheming. It's doing something. But what is it? Now, again, creation's so big, you couldn't possibly create a purpose that encompassed the whole of creation. So instead, you must create the purpose as you see it right now, same way that you create the purpose for God, as you see him and know him right now. And you'll never really be done creating the purpose for either of these two things. But it's really about practicing for creating your purpose. And here's a simple little diagram that shows how the world approaches things. They say, okay, if you find something you love to do and the world needs it and they'll pay you for it and you're great at it, then inside that there'll be a passion and a mission and a vocation. And in the middle of all that is the red square, and that's where your purpose will be. But that's what leads to this kind of life. You're always working, do I love this? Do I like doing this? Are they going to pay me for this? If I can get all those circles aligned, then I'll find the red dot. But that's not the way it works. You must create the red dot first, then the circles will be built by your mind, heart, and body around the red dot. The reason most people never find the red dot is because they're trying to build the circles. They're trying to figure out what they love to do, what they're great at, what people will pay me for, what the world needs, what's my passion, mission, profession, vocation. All those things are nice, but they can't create the red dot. They only fit around the red dot that you create. And that's your responsibility as a creator. So fun is creating a unique purpose for you and your friends to pursue together. So as we break this down into a project for week 3, I want you to create a picture that shows your purpose, creation's purpose, and God's purpose. And you could have multiple pictures, but I want there to be one picture that has all 3 included as you see it. There's no right or wrong, because if you were right, you would need to be God and understand the whole of creation and all of yourself, which you don't. So just make the picture as best you see fit, showing your purpose, creation's purpose, and God's purpose. And this will prepare you for creating your character, your story, and your lesson.